Today we're putting our whiskey knowledge to the ultimate test by playing a game we're calling Odd Dram Out. And in our first challenge, we're trying to spot the single Irish whiskey in a sea of Scotches.
We have 7 single malt Scotches and 1 pot still Irish whiskey. Will we choose wisely or will we choose poorly? Either way, if you appreciate a good choice when it comes to whiskey, check out our Barrel Hunters merch shop. We've got whiskey inspired tees for all occasions.
We design everything ourselves. The shirts are soft, they fit great, and it helps support these wacky blind tastings that you guys love so much. The link is in the description below. Scotland and Ireland have been in an intense battle over whiskey bragging rights since the 1600s, with both countries claiming to be the originators of the spirit and the better producer. So what actually separates single malt Scotch from single pot still Irish whiskey? Because on paper, they're a lot closer than people think.
For one, they both use barley as the main grain. Now, single malt Scotch is made from 100% malted barley, whereas single pot still Irish whiskey uses a mix of malted and unmalted barley. So that difference could help us out a bit.
Scotch and Irish whiskey are also aged in similar climates that favor slow maturation, and both provide flavors of fruits like green apple and pear rather than the big caramel and vanilla punch from a bourbon. Scotch is much more dependent on the region though.
Here's another clue we're gonna look for. Besides subtle notes of spice and cereal sweetness from the unmalted barley, Irish whiskey is often triple distilled, which tends to make it lighter, cleaner, and a little silkier. Scotch, on the other hand, is usually double distilled and more willing to show its rough edges. A firmer malt backbone, drier oak, and in some cases, that unmistakable wisp of peat smoke.
So yes, there are differences between Irish whiskey and Scotch, but are they pointed enough to catch the odd dram out in a blind? Let's find out.
All right, we're gonna get right into it here with sample number 1.
This is gonna be hard, man.
It is.
This smells already to me like an Irish whiskey. I get a bunch of green apple notes on this.
I get some sherry in here, some like red fruit notes.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. I'm getting a ton of green apple and I'm getting a little bit of caramel.
I'm getting red fruit notes. You said you're getting some of the green apples and pears. I almost get a little bit of honey in there too.
I get some honey too. All right, I'm ready to down this bad boy.
Let's do it.
Okay, now I'm getting the peat.
I'm not getting any peat, but I get a lot more like grassy notes, pear.
I'm gonna guess that this is a Scotch because I'm definitely getting those malted notes on this. Maybe not a ton of peat, but I'm getting a little bit of that lingering sort of salty maritime notes that you would get from a Scotch.
I'm not getting any of that cereal grain that you kind of expect from a single pot still. This one, I'm pretty confident is a Scotch. Ooh, this is interesting. This one feels a little, or smells a little silkier to me.
I'm getting some butter notes on this.
Yes.
Getting a little buttery goodness.
Yeah, it's like we've said in the past, a little bit of that buttered popcorn type of flavor to it.
Yes. Maybe green apple just dunked gently into butter and salted caramel.
If there's one trend in these videos, this guy loves dunking fruit into random
Yeah, that I do.
Oh man. All right, this one to me is gonna be on the borderline category.
Okay.
This one to me it's iffy. It could go either way. There's nothing that screams Scotch, nothing that screams Irish. This one could be a keeper.
I'm okay with going with that route because honestly, this is becoming a lot harder for me than I expected. It tastes a little oily. It has some of those notes that you would typically get from an Irish whiskey, especially one that has a blend of malted and unmalted grain. This is a hard one. I would say maybe on that one. I'm also not gonna finish this because I wanna save this in case I wanna do a double take.
All right, so we're on to number 3 here.
This smells to me so much more like a Scotch.
Yeah, this has single malt written all over it.
I still get some of those green apple notes, but you're gonna get that from a lot of Scotches. I am getting, again, some of those maritime smells. I'm getting a little bit of like that seaside. You're in a lighthouse, just letting the breeze hit you as you're just enjoying the sunset over at Scotland. That's what I'm getting here.
That one comes in with a little bit of heat.
I'm getting this rich flavor of malt. I get a lot of malt, some dark fruit in there. I think that this is a delicious pour, but I'm gonna say this is a Scotch.
You know what it actually reminded me of? We recently did a review of the Macallan 12 110 proof, and it reminded me of that.
And maybe that's what it is.
Oh, there's the peat.
I'm getting like Band-Aid notes on this.
Wow.
Band-Aid notes.
Who doesn't love a good Band-Aid in their glass? You know, like the ones floating in the pool?
That's what I'm getting here.
Yeah.
I'm getting a Band-Aid that's been just thrown in the water, pick it up and you smell it, and then you say, this will taste really good in my mouth.
God, that was delicious. There is so much smoke and peat. Now, I don't want to automatically say it's a Scotch because there are peated Irish whiskeys out there, and who knows, maybe we're being thrown for a loop here. But I'm gonna play this like I'm at a blackjack table and play the odds and say that is a Scotch.
This is a quintessential Scotch. You get the peat notes, you get the saltiness and the brininess, you get the maritime feel, but you also have this gentle layer of fruit blanketed over it. This thing is delicious. I'm enjoying it. It is not an Irish whiskey.
Oh, this one I get a ton of like peach, pear, not tropical fruits, but like summertime fruits.
Yes, Ryan, this one, at least on the nose right now, is tricking me. I'm not sure if this is an Irish whiskey or a Scotch.
I'm leaning Scotch, and here's why. The Irish whiskey is a single pot still, and this doesn't give me single pot still vibes.
Okay, the thing is I'm getting green apple, I'm getting peach, I'm getting those, like you said, summertime type of fruits. When you have that and you don't have a lot of the malt flavor, that's when I start getting a little, I start shaking a little bit. I start getting a little concerned. I'm like, my spidey senses are tingling, you know what I mean?
I see them.
They're tingling all over.
Yeah, I feel them.
You don't want me to stand up right now. I don't know what that means. Let's go.
Okay. That did not have a very long finish on it. The nose was great. The palate and the finish, medium.
It was salty. It was a little briny. It gave me a little touch of that malt that I didn't get on the nose, and then it just died. It flatlined.
Yeah.
It just,
Oh,
nothing like
that was a wet one.
Hey man, we all have those nights.
This one, I'm leaning towards Scotch, but it's not like a full blown, like I feel confident about this. Strike this into the could be not category.
I agree. This one is giving me just green apple and perfume.
Who doesn't love drinking perfume?
I sure don't. But today might be the day where that changes.
Yeah.
I might really enjoy this.
That was a little lemony at the end there, a little zesty, a little citrusy. That was nice.
Very nice. It has me a little concerned too because I don't get a lot of malt on this. I am getting a lot of flavor. I'm a little on the maybe not pile on that one.
Yeah, I think so too. This is gonna sound bad, but you know what this smells like?
What?
It smells like a ball of rubber bands.
Hey man, that's better than smelling a wet Band-Aid.
That is true.
I am already on the nose suspecting that this is not an Irish whiskey.
I would agree with that. That's sort of coastal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it full-blown peat. It's got some salinity to it. That was really nice.
This is very nice. This is definitely not an Irish whiskey. I will say that with confidence, but I am getting peat. I am getting salt. I am getting a lot of that sort of maritime feel that I think this will pair beautifully with some smoked salmon, but I'm gonna put this in the absolutely not pile.
I agree. Oh, interesting. Man, I'm getting peat in this one.
I am getting so much peat, more so than I did in number 7.
You know what? I am concerned now that we have a peated Irish whiskey in here.
Dude, the way that I've been playing this, I have put all my eggs in the peated Scotch basket rather than peated Irish. So I'm gonna assume that the Irish whiskey is not peated because I've gone too far into this rabbit hole for it to just blow my mind. It's so tasty. But this to me tastes like an Islay Scotch. I would be shocked if this is an Irish whiskey that is peated because I'm getting all the maritime notes. I'm getting all that smoke. It feels like I'm in a campfire right now, next to the seaside. And there's fish just like bouncing around and jumping in the water. And I'm just there watching them as I'm roasting a marshmallow. And I am enjoying their smells. That's what I'm getting.
Have you guys ever gotten that kind of story from sipping a whiskey? Because this guy's imagination takes him to places that I can't even begin to imagine. All right, so that one to me, if we're playing the odds, is gonna be a Scotch.
All right, so we have to eliminate 4.
We do. So number 1 was fruity and grassy. I don't think that's the Irish whiskey. I'm pretty confident that was a Scotch.
So number 2 gave me buttery notes. I felt it a little oily in my mouth. And I am leaning towards that one definitely being in the running for being an Irish whiskey.
I agree. So sample number 3 for me was definitely a Scotch. That one didn't give me any Irish whiskey notes at all. So I'm pretty confident that that one is a Scotch. So sample number 4 was smoky, it was peaty. Again, I'm gonna go with the fact that it's not a peated Irish whiskey. That's the Irish whiskey for our list. So I'm gonna say number 4 is a Scotch.
Number 5 for me had some notes that could resemble an Irish whiskey, but it was also very flat and was also very quick. If I had to guess what that is, just based on my experience drinking Scotch and Irish whiskey, I'm gonna go on a whim and say that that's Dalmore 12.
That was exactly my guess too.
But I could be completely wrong. But to me, it it just died. It was flat, and I don't think that we're gonna have a cheap Irish whiskey in here. Although Jameson exists, so if it's a quick finish, it's a flat finish, it could be that one. So that's why I'm still on the fence. I don't know if we're gonna get rid of that one.
So number 6 is one of those that I was kind of on the fence about too. It could be Irish whiskey, it could be Scotch. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep number 6 on the list for now.
I would completely agree. I'm not completely convinced.
And wrapping it up with 7 and 8, those both gave off like peaty coastal vibes, which I don't think is gonna be the Irish whiskey. So I'm pretty confident that 7 and 8 are both Scotches.
I'm pretty confident about that as well. I think you're absolutely right, Ryan. So if we had to pick 4 to eliminate, which 4 would they be?
I am confident that 3, 4, 7, and 8 are gonna be Scotches and we can get rid of them.
Now this is the moment of truth. Did we get it right?
Oh!
Yes!
The lights turned green behind us, meaning we got it right.
Yes, exactly.
Well
there we go. So we're moving on to the next round. We eliminated 4. We don't have to worry about drinking another one, because honestly, if we did, I will be on my ass. So, at the very least, right now we're moving on to round 2. My lovely wife refilled our glasses, and now we are in for a treat, because we're one step closer to finding out which one is the Irish whiskey.
Oh man, this is one of the ones that we could have eliminated in round 1.
Yeah, so I remember that this still gave me that malted barley note. I'm still getting it on the nose, and now downing the hatch.
Man, this one this time gives me an interesting, like, almost like a white wine type of finish. It's very fruity though, like very fruit forward. It's very light, which signals me 2 things. 1, it could be triple distilled and it feels a little bit lighter. Or 2, it's got that kind of grassy, fruity note that you'd expect from a Scotch. Honestly, it could go either way, but I'm leaning towards Scotch on this one.
Yeah, you know, when we first tried this one, you mentioned the red fruit note. I am getting a ton more red fruit now.
Yeah?
And I don't know if you did some subliminal stuff to me. The fact that I'm getting a lot more red fruit than green apple tells me that this is leaning more towards a Scotch than an Irish whiskey. However, I could be wrong. Dude, that oil, that butter, I'm getting some of these notes that just, to me, remind me of pot still whiskey.
I am pretty confident that this is gonna be, this one right here is the pot still whiskey. Because not only am I getting some of that oily kind of texture to it, but I pick up a little bit of spice in there too, which is something that you tend to get from single pot whiskeys with the mix of the malted and unmalted barley.
That's right. Although, Scotch could also use pot stills. Let's see what we get on the mouth. Wait, no. That's not right.
Who says that?
Who does say that? Not somebody who owns a whiskey channel on YouTube, that's for sure. I can't drink like that. Oh.
Okay. That is such a good pour. And I think the palate and the finish confirm my thoughts on the nose. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be single pot still.
I'm on the fence. I think that this could be the Irish whiskey, but we still have 2 other ones. And Irish whiskey could cover so many different grounds that, you know, it makes it very hard to determine which one's which.
Let's get the last 2 to see if it confirms our suspicions. This one has a grassy, fruity nose to it.
Yeah, I'm still getting like perfume notes on this, and I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm thrown for a loop.
Let's see. From round 1, this is the one that we suspected might be Dalmore just because of a previous blind that we did for Scotch whiskeys. And this kind of confirms it for me because the nose was decent, but the finish is quick and done.
Yeah, the finish is very short. I'm getting a lot of malt too, which you don't typically get from most Irish whiskeys. I'm also getting a little bit more of the rough edges from a double distillation than a triple. So I'm gonna probably write this one off, but I'm gonna just reserve my final judgment until the very end. Now we're on to number 6.
That's true.
See, on the nose alone, this to me reminds me of a quintessential Irish whiskey. I'm getting green apple. I'm not getting a whole lot of malt. I'm getting this like seaside, but not quite that sort of medicinal note.
Yeah, the nose definitely does give off, it could be Scotch, could be Irish whiskey, because the fruit profiles of both are very strong.
I'm gonna say that this is very tasty. You know, I'm a little bit on the fence on this. I'm a little curious as to what this could be.
So I think we need to re-examine all 4 real quickly and make a final decision.
Okay, let's do this again.
I'm gonna go back in with number 1 real quick.
Yep.
I think that one's a Scotch.
That one gives me so many Scotch vibes.
I don't think that's the Irish whiskey.
I would agree. I would say let's write this one off as the non-Irish whiskey.
Get out of here, number 1.
Get out of here.
Now, number 2 originally had me convinced that this one was the Irish whiskey.
That's what I thought as well. From the moment that we tried it, that was the one that to me was leaning more towards the Irish whiskey route.
Let's see if we can confirm that. All right, number 2, still in play. Number 5. Yeah, I think this one's a Scotch.
I'm gonna say that this is a Scotch as well.
All right, let's put this one aside. That leaves number 6.
I'm gonna stick with my gut and go with the one that I thought was the Irish whiskey from round 1, and that is bottle number 2.
Number 6, go away. Number 2, for me, I am even more confident now that this is the Irish whiskey.
So this is the moment of truth.
Now, if the lights behind us turn green, we are right. If they turn anything but green, we are wrong.
Oh, look at that! We got it right. Let's see. Let's finalize this. Let's make it.
Well, what was the Irish whiskey that we had?
So the Irish whiskey that we had. Whoa, redbreast 12.
We knew from round 1 that number 2 was the Irish whiskey.
Look at that. We were good, man. And here's the thing. Scotch and Irish whiskey are very similar in many different ways. And it was really cool to be able to tell the difference between them two.
This is the first time we've ever done a test between single malt Scotches and single pot still Irish whiskeys. And I honestly learned a little bit today myself.
Catching the Irish whiskey blind isn't about spotting a single note. It's about recognizing when something is built differently.
And today proved that when you strip away labels, single pot still has their fingerprint you can find. Let us know what you thought about this format. Until next time, cheers.